Hey guys, welcome back, Stitching in Sequins. Last video, yes, this time now it's just kind of rhinestones. Hope you guys had a fantastic holiday. This is being recorded the day after Christmas. Very low-key here, Christmas Day. Boys let us sleep in, which was a plus. They had fun opening up gifts, and the boys surprised me with one of these 8-inch selfie ring light studio. They decided maybe this will make your videos better, Mom. Thanks. No, I've been wanting to try this. I had like a small one, like clips onto like your side of your phone. But this is the real deal, so now I think it's official. Liking it. Still got to decide on the brightness. There's a couple different colors. This is like a blue hue. This is more like a sepia, and then this is like a white light. I think I'm kind of like in sort of the off sepia sort of look. So got this in addition to a 3-pound bag of Skittles, sadly, not minus the grape ones, because those ones I do not eat. I saved those for Joe. What else? So Joe and I are lucky enough to be in the position where, you know, if we need or want anything throughout the year, we're able to purchase it. So I told him, you know, no need to go crazy on trying to figure out what to get me for Christmas, because I don't say that I'm difficult to buy for, but he's like, you know, I want to get you something cross-stitch related, but I don't know necessarily. He's like, I know what you like, but I'm not just going to go into a store, an LNS, and pick something out. So I said, nope, don't worry about it. I kind of buy myself shenanigan items throughout the year. Don't worry about it. But something that I have been wanting to do for a long time, is Ancestry.com. So I actually purchased 2 kits, one for him to do, one for me to do. So I have this term of endearment that I call him when he says something really dumb. I just call him a flat out, you're a moron. So he unboxed this and he was like, oh wow, cool. And so he starts to open it and I'm like, you realize it's the kit. Oh, it's not gonna like tell me what I am. I'm like, no, you dumb shit. Dumb shit's another term of endearment. You have to like spit or swab or however you collect it. And he started laughing. He's like, well, I don't know. Maybe you got my DNA somehow through hair. Or I'm like, oh my God. So Ancestry DNA, I'm excited to do this. And then the boys are excited too. They're like, well, we want to do it too. I'm like, so we explain the whole DNA in 30 seconds, explaining that whatever comes back for me is also you, and vice versa with Dad. So yeah, excited to check this out. And Joe's like, well, what about if it comes back that I have like kids out there? And I'm like, then we're going to be doing some talking. We're going to have a talk if that's the case. What else? I'm excited for mail to arrive today because Charlie will be receiving her husband. Boyfriend, they got to talk it out. Why am I saying her? My last video, I introduced you guys to Charlie. So if you're not sure who Charlie is, go watch my next video. Or Charlie is my human skull that I have purchased. I got a couple comments and people saying, you know, are you sure that it's a male skull? I, you know, don't take necessarily stuff for face value. I sort of research it. And I had wanted to make sure that he, in the beginning, was actually a male. I did some research. I went on a few websites. I also pulled out my Encyclopedia of Medicine, textbook of medicine that she is now displayed on. And 99% sure Charlie is a female. Eye shape is more rounded than square. The no, I'm saying that wrong. Your eye sockets, males are a different shape than females. She has a smaller hyoid process bone, which sticks down. It's a little longer on males. It's shorter on females. She has a shorter one. Her brows are smoother and she has more of a forehead, whereas guys tend to have a ridge in a shorter, flat forehead area. Her chin kind of threw me off because male chins tend to be more of an angle and females are a little softer, but some females do have a very strong jawline. But with the eye socket shape, the hyoid process, and the forehead, I'm pretty sure Charlie is a female. I'm not a fan of Charlotte or any other names, but I'm pretty sure if I would have had a girl, a female, being pregnant, I would have definitely given her some sort of non-froofy name, and I really like Charlie as a girl's name, so it's a good one. I struck out. It's a great unisex name, but Charlie, I still love her just as much, and you know, I had talked to Arlene. Arlene knew my plans of brewing, and I had told her that I did not want any female skulls. But now I can say I have one of each sex, and it'll be cool to kind of like compare and contrast. So Charlie is a female, but today I will be getting my second skull, not 4 or 22 of them. I mean, that'd be cool. My second skull, male. I definitely looked at the pictures that I was sent of him. Definitely a male. And I was in the shower because I gotta get nice for you guys. And Beauregard came to mind. So I think skull number 2 is going to be Beauregard. It's a little bit of a tongue twister. I'll call him Beau. But yeah, I'm excited to see Beauregard. Joe, boys, not so much. That's okay. Can't make everybody happy. All right. But yes, go check out my last video. And if you can make it towards the end of the video where I talk about Charlie, it might be in your best interest. 1884 inventory here. If you got some Christmas cash that's burning a hole in your pocket. I also have, you can't see, out some Alforest kits. And I will be getting a new shipment of Alforest stuff probably the end of January, early February. I'm waiting to make my final order. I want to see if Elena and the team have any new charts or kits that they can sneak into my box. I carry 1884 Stitchery Silks by Vicki Clayton, yes. And I was going through, I was doing up an order, and I realized I had these two cones of two colors that I had not posted. They're not labeled with a name. This one is definitely a goldy color, slight variations from a sort of darker gold to something lighter. And then I have this fuzz green. There we go. Oh, that works nice with the ring light with variegated. Let me show you this one. So I'm going to actually have these up for sale in full cones. So if you're planning a new year, new start sometime in January, the amount on each one I'm going to check, but I think it's 250 yards, and they're 5 strands, 6 strands. Anyway, I'll post them. They will be for sale by the time this video uploads today. But this video today is going to be about my WIPs. It's going to be quick because I only have 6. Technically 5 because one of them is for the SAL that I will be releasing on February 1st. So let's go with 5 WIPs. And then I also need to start working on, I'm going to do a 2020 wrap up and showing off all of my finishes. I printed off the list the other day. Keep going. This here, a total of 48 finishes for 2020. That's a lot of X's. That's a lot of my time this year that I spent on stitching. Can't wait to show them to you guys. So that will be my next video. So let's get into my 5 WIPs. I'm going to start with the one that's right here in front of me. This is At the Met by Mirabilia. You can still purchase this chart. It is not out of print. I have always liked it for her kind of bright colored sash. This is being stitched on hold please. I'm doing a conversion of DMC for her skin tone and any of the black, but anything else I'm using Vicki Clayton silks. My goodness, I always say that. Where am I stitching it on? My goodness, usually so organized. Let me recheck. I started at the Met this year, and went balls to the walls with, I know it's on my IG if you're interested in what fabric I'm using. Oh, is it right here? Yes. Okay. This is Zweigert. It's a silk from Silk Weaver Modena 36 count in autumn. I am stitching it 2/2. Love the coverage, love the color. Wanted something slightly modeled, but nothing too crazy. Beads up along the top and in her hair, but that's all the beads that I will be doing. If there's any beads needed on her, I have substituted out for Swarovski crystals, which I've already added. I've beaded and added the Swarovskis glued on already. So started from the top, working my way down. If you look at the chart, her head decoration that she's wearing is crazy. It's stitched plus beads, and I did some of the stitching, shortened it because this actually extends really far out here somewhere. So I made it shorter, and then I just added in Swarovski crystals. This one I need to pull off and put in a different size because that's driving me nuts. She's being backstitched as I go. Swarovski crystals, these were supposed to be beads, but I just picked Swarovskis that are close enough to the called for. I need to bring down the sides. But yeah, love her sash so far. A few videos back, I was contemplating chopping her off right here, but I was peer pressured into keep going. So I am, and I know I will be thrilled when I am all finished. The bottom of her dress has backstitching and beads on it. I'm gonna not be doing that. I won't be doing that. Not sure on my exact plan, but I can figure that out when I get there. So yeah, the DMCs for her skin, not doing 1/1 on her skin, but I am doing 1/2, just to give it a little bit of a softer look. And I really like it. And the coverage is actually really nice. I wish I would have done the whole thing 1/2 on 36, but I was afraid of the coverage, but the 2/2 is fine on its own. So here are the Vicki Clayton silks that I am using for her sash, and love them. Put all those away nicely. The next WIP that I have that I've been working on, Rachel, go away, is from Tiny Modernist. This is Stitch Goddess. I purchased mine through Etsy as a PDF. She can be stitched in 2 different ways. I am doing the brunette. Love the colors, quirkiness of it, and I've been working on it the last couple days. I'm not going to take it off the Q snap. This fabric is 18 count Ada. Great, bright, fantastic, called for DMC. And this is where I am at. I have finished the upper part. There's a sun. So I have finished everything on, let's go here, on the one side with the thread all along the top. So I want to finish the upper half before I move down. Loving the coverage. The spool, I used one thread of DMC Etoile and did a satin stitch back and forth and really like it. And the last couple days I've been working on her hair, which is actually 2 shades of brown. And then the other day finished her face, filled in her skin. Didn't get as much stitching done yesterday. I took a nap, ate Skittles, got sucked into watching YouTube. But this morning when I sat down, I want to start her arm. Now her dress is solidly stitched in this creamy color. Not sure what I'm going to do. I know if I stitch it all, it's going to look fantastic. I know that there is no rush. It's not a contest. But holy moly, that's a lot of fill-in. My first thought was, okay, maybe you can do like some sort of like satin stitch. So I'm going to see like back and forth, not up and down, but do a left to right satin stitch and see how it looks. If it totally looks horrible, then I'll take it all out and just suck it up and do regular X's. So yeah, the Stitch Goddess by Tiny Modernist. Number 3, I can't show you because that is not a WIP. I'm not calling it a WIP because it's my stitch along that I will be stitching along with you guys as well, so I can show you at the beginning of the month, a couple of days before I will release the pattern, and I can show you progress on it. So WIP number 3 then is Susanna Foley, Tombstone Angel, Kathy Barrick. I've always loved this one. One color, if you choose. I love that the angel looks like it's showing off its muscles. I love the Tombstone Angels, and I just love the font of everything. I am stitching this on a piece of, I need to correctly count it. It's a piece of it's a random. It's a very unique fabric. Vicky sent it to me with her spools that I purchased, and it's like 48 one way and 52 another. So it's not going to be coming out more of a rectangle sort of shape. It's coming out more of a square shape, which is totally fine. It does not bother me whatsoever. But the fabric is really nice. I am stitching it 1/2 with Vicky's silk, and I picked Imperial Green. No variegation, but I really like the color of it. And I thought, you know what? I haven't done anything in monochromatic that's green, and I also think it's unexpected, because everyone tends to go like a black or a gray or something along the lines, and I was like, I'm going to do green. Really, really liking how it is coming out. I got my little buff angel guy flexing for me. Definitely a good light. Eyes need to be in that sort of setting of wanting to do something a little smaller. stitch count wise. So I was working on this the other day and put in some lengths of silk when I was sitting in my chair. I just have really good light in here to stitch. There's this window here, and then I have a lamp, so I can put the lamp on in the evening and have it over my shoulder and stitch. So that is that. Number 4 is Cory, Bata Cory. Oh God, I always forget. There's the name. It's something like Friendship Garden. First pattern from her that I have stitched, and it's charted in Italian. And I think I'm going to keep it. When I get to the words to stitch, I'm going to stitch them in the Italian seine. Stitching this on a 40 count crossed wing fabric, which is hand painted in the color of Midnight. Crosswing fabric, if you can get your hands on it, no longer made. The fabric can be found in some of their charts with the fabric. They do a lot of, like, I think I've only seen birds, but the fabric is super nice. And luckily I didn't start this dead center in this fabric. I was like, oh, let's start it off to the side. So that is where I am at. I am using the called for DMC colors. I did change the hair. So the girl there, I made her have black hair. So I have been rocking black hair for a couple years now. And then I kept blonde girl the same. I have my dress filled in, which, holy moly, her dress almost filled in. Loved the flowery sort of ribbon-ish border. Haven't worked on this in a few months. I think honestly I got burnt out on it. There we go. I got burnt out on it. But I get her dress filled in and bring down the ribbon border, and then I'm pretty damn close to being done. So love it on the blue fabric. I'm doing it 1/2. And I love how the colors pop off the blue as well. Now, with having only, I keep forgetting, 5 whips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 whips. They're definitely they will be finished in 2021. Because if I finished 48 whips this year, pieces this year, I have no excuse to get done 5 of them. Next is an 1884 release. Really no rush on it, because it is more of a, it's not like it's like Easter theme. There's no theme to it. But is my farewell sampler. My bleeding hearts that I charted out. Love bleeding hearts. This is on a piece of 40 count fabric. It's just a random piece of 40 count. It is. So it was just a piece of 40 count neutral that I had in my stash, likely modeled. So I have this first stanza, paragraph done of the poem, and then there's 2 more, and then this border is flipped and stitched again down at the bottom. So that was 5, okay, and then number 6 is my most recent start. I just talked to you guys about in my last video. Strawberry Blossoms, Kathy Barrick. I talked about it in my last video, how I wanted in my wood mirror thing that I'm switching into a frame. And I haven't touched it anymore since. So strawberries, and so I have all these strawberries complete, and then these are the curls, kind of like highlights in her hair. So yeah, 6 WIPs going into 2021. They will be finished by the end of the year. And I hope to have at least, excuse me, 21 finishes complete for 2021. This year, I obviously blew that out of the water with 48. All right, so that is it for this video. I'm gonna start collecting my finishes to show you guys for my next video. Not sure when I will record that, but it will be coming by the end of the year. A few days left. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have a WIP Parade, let me know down below. I want to watch it. Or if you're like, I want to get on to YouTube, I want to do FlossTube also. Guess what? This is the best way to get going. Introduce everybody with a WIP Parade. Great way, great introduction. Hope you guys have a great day, rest of your day, whenever you watch this, and I'll see you guys soon.